Have you ever heard of or been taught the political spectrum? Could you tell me what you do know?
Okay, the political spectrum, obviously it talks about the idea from like, are you conservative all the way to liberal, right? Kind of where you fall in between them. So yeah, so I have been taught that and have, dealt with that a little bit.
What would you call yourself, conservative or liberal, and why?
Really depends. Okay, it depends on the issue at hand. And it depends on, the actual, item that we're talking about. I tend to be a little bit more liberal than I am conservative.
All right. What are your thoughts on same-sex marriage? Do you lean more conservative or liberal?
I'm going to be honest with you. Same-sex marriage does not bother me whatsoever. Does not concern me. I probably am more liberal on that. But I feel everybody. It's not up to me to decide who you should love.
All right. What side do you lean more towards on the topic of gun control? Liberal or conservative? Why do you lean this way?
I'm kind of stuck in the middle on this one, to be honest with you. And here's why. I believe everybody should have the right to bear arms.
All right.
Okay. However, recent things that have happened, I believe we need some stricter laws or statutes to kind of control who is purchasing these weapons, who is not purchasing these weapons, et cetera, et cetera. So would never take away. So I would never vote away to have somebody not be able to bear arms. But there needs to be some stipulations with it as well. So I'm kind of stuck right in the middle.
Right. When politicians are talking about the problem of abortion, where do you stand on the subject?
Morally or politically? Probably politically, right?
Politically.
The way you're asking. All right, politically, it's not my choice. Okay, like I believe everybody has a choice. Now, I believe that I'm very fortunate that like being a male, I don't have to make that choice. But I understand why that choice needs to be made at some time. So I am pro-choice.
All right. Why do you think the way about it? Okay, that number 6 was.
Okay.
What party do you usually vote for? Democrat, Republican, or third?
I have voted Republican in the past. Most of the time, I vote Democrat because of the different things it deals with education.
All right. Is there a reason why you lean more to one party than another?
Simply because of education. Education. I mean, whoever like looking at like what the candidates in the past have, for either side have brought to the table. I felt that the Democratic candidate has given more to the idea of education, what's better for kids.
All right. Has there been a moment where you'd rather vote for someone that is not from your normal party, Republican or Democrat?
For sure, absolutely. I think that happens all the time. Sometimes you have to vote for the lesser of two evils. All right. Sometimes, like I'm gonna be honest with you. This last election, I didn't like either candidate, so it's hard to weigh that because it's tough.
Which side do you agree with more on the topic of President Trump's impeachment trial coming
up? That's a real sticky subject right now. I do believe, just because you're impeached doesn't mean you're not the president. So you need to look at some different things like that. But I do believe there's some things that he's done well. I do believe there's some things that he needs help with, and I do believe that there's some improprieties that have an issue there. So it's a tough situation, but I think it's one of those things that leads people to talk. But in order to talk, you have to know what you're talking about. And I think right now, to be honest with you, I've kind of stopped paying attention to it because I'm over it.
All right. How many times have you voted in the past?
I've voted in every presidential election since I turned 18.
All right.
And most of the time I vote for all school board elections, all gubernatorial elections, everything like that. So anytime I get a chance to vote, I try to.
All right. What was your first voting experience was like, if you can recall?
I was confused. I didn't know what to do. I went there. I was kind of nervous. a little anxious, excited too at the same time because I get to vote. I really, to be honest with you, when I first voted, I just wanted a little sticker that said I voted, it was cool. I mean, like, I didn't really know what I was doing. I mean, I probably, I can't even tell you what I voted for or who I voted for, but I just remember doing it. Bubbling. I got real nervous because you had to bubble in the little responses, and I was worried if did I do it correctly and all that stuff. So it was a little anxious, a little anxiety, but pretty cool at the same time.
All right. What are you taking into consideration, or do you have any research that you like doing before going into a poll?
I think you have to do research. Literally, I think you do yourself a disservice if you don't do research. Now, I do my research independently. My wife and I, we don't talk about who we vote for. I don't really care who she votes for. I think her and I are very similar, but I think that it's very important to do your own research and to gather your own information because it's your vote. I mean, it's not like, if you and I are talking about it, I'm not going to try to persuade you who to vote for. I'm going to gather my information and go through there and do what I need to do.
All right, I get it. When voting in a ballot, do you vote on everything or just election portion? I think you started covering this little question earlier.
I vote. If I don't know what it is and it's on the ballot, I will not vote for it.
All right.
If that makes sense, because there's a lot of things on ballots all the time.
Have you ever felt like not voting in your life? If so, why?
Yeah, I think sometimes where you're just like, that's going to pass or that's not going to do anything or whatever. But yeah, I mean, sometimes you feel like that, but you go and do it because that's your civic duty. That's what you're supposed to. That's what's great about being an American.
I understand that. Has your friends or family ever influenced your voting decisions?
Oh, I think originally when I first started, yes, I think they did. My dad is extremely conservative and extremely, he is a Republican, and that did really kind of shape my beliefs of things. But as you go through, you kind of develop your own, political, where you fall on the political spectrum.
Right.
And that was, I think your friends and family, I think sometimes they do have some influence on what you do. I think I don't talk to my parents very much about the elections because they're older than I am. Their experiences are different than mine are. That's really not necessarily a thing anymore, but it was. Yeah, I did. Originally, yes.
I can understand where you're coming from with that one. Who did you vote for the 2016 election and why?
I'm not going to tell you that.
Right.
I gotta have a little mystery. And I'll tell you why. My wife and I don't ask her. I don't tell her. She doesn't tell me. We just got to do our thing. I will say that it was tough because, like I said, I didn't like either candidate.
All right, I can understand that. Are you going to vote for the upcoming 2020 election? Why?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm always going to vote for an election. I think it's good. Right now, I'm kind of doing my due diligence as to what's good and what's bad.
All right. Out of all the candidates of the upcoming election, who are you wanting to win? Why?
Still in the process of looking at the candidates right now. So yeah, it's until they give us who the nomination is.
20. The final question of this list is: what's your opinion on the assassination of Qasem Soleimani in Iran?
I think it's something that when you look at protection, we always got to protect our people. At the same time, I think we got to look at sometimes doing less is more sometimes too. But the powers that be decided that was what needed to be done. So I've got to trust that.
All right.
Cool.
Thank
Thank
you
you.
for your time.
Absolutely. Thank you. Just a second. I was doing an interview. Can you open that door?